last 8 here at the DW Stadium. You've got to go all the way back to September 2017 for Castleford Tigers' last win here. They will hope to arrest that run tonight as they can seal 5th spot in the Betfred Super League with a win over the Wigan Warriors. 7:45 p.m. kickoff here at the DW Stadium. Let's bring you the sides. Wigan showing just a couple of changes from the team that beat the Catalan Dragons in round 28. There's no Liam Farrell. He sits out for a one-match suspension, so Joe Greenwood gets a start in the back row. He's alongside former Castleford Tiger Willie Isa and Young Player of the Year nominee Morgan Smithies. Keep an eye on number 43, Bevan French, 4 tries in 4 appearances for the Wigan Warriors. Big news is on the bench, Ben Flower, who's missed the last 3, and Sean O'Loughlin, the club captain, who has missed the last 4, come back in. Tonight, Tommy Luluai will be the on-field captain for coach Adrian Lamb. Well, the Castleford Tigers, they're hitting form themselves at just an opportune moment. They beat Hull 44-12 in their last game. A hat-trick in that match for Jake Truman. He's alongside Jamie Ellis in the halves. And in the back row, Mike McMeekin plays his 150th Super League game alongside Jesse Senni-Lefeo and Nathan Massey. There is no Adam Milner, so Chris Clarkson is drafted in alongside Matt Cook and Ollie Holmes by coach Darryl Powell. Well, the last meeting here was in round 13, a game played in very damp and windy conditions, won by the Wigan Warriors 6 points to 4. The Castleford Tigers had a 4-0 half-time lead, and they'll hope to avenge that defeat. Of course, when they met in round 9 at the Mendahose Jungle, it was the Castleford Tigers who had all the running in the second half. They turned around a big deficit to beat the Wigan Warriors 38 points to 28. As they line up in the tunnels, it's Tommy Luluai and the Wigan Warriors who will hope to cement 2nd spot with a win here tonight for the Castleford Tigers. They will eliminate Hull FC and claim 5th if they can emerge victorious here. Well, there she is, young Hallie Campbell, who is here with her family, wheeled out by her sister Macy. They're raising funds with a bucket collection here at the DW Stadium for life-saving treatment in Poland. Hallie has AADC, which in its simplest explanation is an infant form of Parkinson's, thankfully a very rare disease. But the crowd here tonight will be contributing towards Hallie's treatment. She's a very welcome guest of the Wigan Warriors, and we're delighted to see her here tonight. She will, I'm sure, be cheering on the Wigan Warriors. Castleford Tigers will hope they are the ones that go home happy. Our commentary team for the game here at the DW Stadium is standing by. Phil Clark joins Barry McDermott, Terry O'Connor, and they're led tonight by Ben Pro. Ben.
Thanks very much, Brian. Yes, the most dramatic finale in 24 years of summer football kicks off tonight as Wigan and the Tigers go head-to-head for the 3rd time this season with a crucial 2 points on the line. The champions know a win tonight would guarantee a top 2 finish for the 5th time in 6 years, and they've gone on to triumph in the theatre of dreams on each of the last 2 occasions. However, the visitors must end their 4-game losing run here to guarantee playoff football for a 6th straight season. It will be the first time Castleford have tasted finals football 3 years in a row. James Child, the man in the middle for this one. 2 teams in red-hot form. It's a cold night here. As Darryl Powell watches on, the Warriors with 11 wins from their last 12, but Castleford have lost only 2 of their last 7, and narrowly as well, 27-26 in golden points extra time at Hull Kingston Rovers, and conceding the only try of the game in the loss to the league leaders, St Helens. Grant Millington takes his place in this match. 2 teams in form, Terry. Who wins this one?
It's going to be difficult to call this, Ben. You look at Castleford, they are in great form, aren't they? The last 4 games they've played, conceded a total of 4 tries, and like you said, just 1 loss in 12. The last 12 games for Wigan. Not many teams fancy playing Wigan. The DW Stadium here now. The fans have turned out. The Cas players have decided that when they won the coin toss, they wanted to kick off to Wigan. They want to set a marker down early and try to bully the likes of Tony Clubb and his forwards.
1, move! Hold! Go.
Big run, first up there from Tony Clubb.
2, move, get square, wait!
That's his opposite number, Liam Watts, in defence for Castleford. 2 of the enforcers on show in this one. Battles all over the pitch.
Release!
Good line from young Morgan Smithies behind the ruck. They like to play off power. They've kicked on the 3rd plate. They're going to test Casford and Jordan Rankin down near their own half. Looking for that good completion rate. Make sure that they turn Cas round as often as they can in these slippy conditions. That's going to be a key factor of the game. Kick long, chase hard, force the error.
James Clare now for the Tigers.
Down to go 2.
Tackle comes in from Sam Powell. Here is Minikin. Wrestle to the ground. Good hit from Thomas Luluai, that.
Goal 3.
McShane finds Jesse Senilefeo. He slips the net. There's 3 there, though, led by Sargentson.
Wait. Goal 4.
To shut that door. And Millington now puts his shoulder in.
5. Move. Work
Partington
back.
with that tackle.
Goal.
21 last week, Oliver Partington, and the kick
Give 10.
under pressure
Liam.
from Jamie Ellis.
Liam. Well,
Burgess in exactly the right place.
There is that kick pressure that we talked about before the match. You can't allow George Williams,
1.
Truman Ellis over on the Castleford side, and Thomas Luluai, when he gets his foot to the ball, you can't allow them time.
2.
The ball spurts out there, but
Wait.
Oliver Gildart manages to keep hold of it, and it's play on.
George Williams does exactly that. McShane with the tackle.
Move. Get square. Wait. Goal 3.
Luluai. Further wide is Sargentson and just steps away from Truman there. That was class.
4. Move.
He's got good footwork, hasn't he, Dan Sargentson over on the right-hand side.
His last weekly round game in Cherry and Wright, Dan Sargentson, before he links up with Salford in 2020.
Hold.
Partington plays the ball. Powell away for Luluai. He goes high on the last tackle. Tester for Minikin. No real pressure applied to the youngster, though.
Looks to try and get rid of Sam Powell then, but he's met by his teammates. You've got to try and really work hard here. You can't be a one-up carrier like James Clare, as you can see. He's always going to be pushed back. He's going to be dominated if he skirts across the defensive line.
Peter Batantia.
Move all the way.
Partington again with some good defence for Wigan. Here now is Liam Watts.
I think big job for Liam Watts tonight. You know, when you come to DW, I said before, you'll get bullied. You know it's going to be physical up front. He's got to lead by example.
Pass at the line from Millington and then further wide. And James Clare's going to hack this ball on. It's a really good kick as well. And we're going to have to be attentive in defence. And it's the former Castleford man, Zach Hardacre, who leads the counter. Look at this.
Adventurous play, wasn't it, from Castleford Tigers? Looking to find the edge. They're mixing it up between big, powerful runs from Liam Watts and just using the ball. Grant Millington's got that in his armoury. They found the space. But look at Zach Hardacre. As soon as he gets that ball, he's looking for an outside edge, looking for some space. And Wigan on the front foot, met by stern defence in Cast Tigers.
This is Joe Burgess for the Warriors. Now Sam Powell. The ball away for Club. Now it's Luluai. Had runners everywhere, but Williams immediately locked up by 2 there. Really good work from Chase Blair in defence for the Tigers. They're desperate for these 2 points, the visitors.
Well, it's almost 20 years, isn't it, to the day, really, roughly, since Castleford first came here and played on this ground. They came here in the playoffs, but they pulled off an amazing upset, winning here for the very first time. And it'd be a massive upset if they come here today and win, but they've certainly started with enough confidence to show they give themselves a chance.
Yeah, last week was the 20th anniversary of the last game at Central Park. And the first match here at the DW Stadium was a fortnight later. Castleford won 14-10 to knock the Warriors out of the 1999 playoff series. McShane gets the ball away for Liam Watts. And it's Massey.
Tackle 3, mate, you're bleeding. Nathan Massey.
James Child has seen some blood.
Yeah,
Paul McShane.
Nathan Massey. Is it Paul McShane? Yeah, you're right, Barry.
I thought he was good last week. I thought he was good. The ruck speed suited his game. And I think that's the reason Jake Truman has so much influence on a game. He gets good service. When the rucks are quick, he's selective in when he goes, and he's got so many tricks in his bag. Darryl Powell, Ryan Sheridan at the side of him.
He's intelligent, isn't he, Barry? And he plays off a strong go forward. He looks after the middle. Jake Truman looks after the edge over on the left-hand side. Then you've got Jamie Ellis over on the right-hand side. They are a team that are encouraged to play, rip up the book of how the game's been played over the last 10 years, and they've gone back to how it was played probably in the 1960s, 70s.
And when you look at Jake Truman, you look at his width away from the ruck. If he's at first receiver, there's Adrian Lamb. Just having a look and assessing his team. When you look at how much width he's got away from the play of the ball, he can only stand that wide, Jake Truman, if he knows he's going to get an accurate pass from McShane.
Ball trapped by former Tiger Zach Hardacre. Castleford's Player of the Year 2 seasons ago. Missed out on Old Trafford through suspension.
Good run there by Oliver Gilda. Wigan's outside backs last week against the Catalan Dragons all made significant contributions, a lot of runs, and interestingly, every single one of the 7 backs made at least 1 attacking kicks. There was variety in what they did when it came to the last play, and they're going to get some more plays here because there's a penalty for hand on the ball.
Well, Ben, you've got to get that right. The third play, the referee, James Child, has awarded the penalty. You can see that Massey just holding on to the ball. Joe Greenwood ran strong. Like Barry said in the studio before, that he's got the job of looking after the rollover on the left, along with George Williams, that Liam Farrell normally has.
Little to choose between these two sides of the opening 5 minutes, but this is a really good opportunity now for Wigan, who have parked themselves in that Castleford half of the field. Plenty of tackles in the bank, courtesy of that penalty. Here is Luluai. Dancing feet from Willie Isa. Jesse Senilifeo with the tackle. Here is Luluai. Tony Clubb. Isa and Senilifeo in the Penrith 2007 SG Ball Cup team together. Plenty of history between these sets of players. Here is Powell. Shoots the pass to Luluai. Here is Williams. Show and go, and Sargentson can't take the ball. It did go forward. Bevan French wanted to continue, but that's good Castleford defence and some frustration there from Dan Sargentson and the Wigan Warriors.
Well, 2 good passes started over on the left-hand side, but the final and the third pass from Zach Hardacre goes behind Dan Sargentson. He has to readjust, reach behind him, can't take it cleanly. He's already trying to fix a couple of defenders in front of him and get the speedster Bevan French away.
Don't forget, Wakefield London, a huge game coming up on Sky Sports tomorrow. Dan Sargentson will be our special guest for that one. Such a dramatic night coming up in 24 hours' time. Friday the 13th. Don't miss it. McMeekin for the Tigers.
Hold is 10, hold.
Greenwood among the Wigan tacklers there, alongside Sam Powell, and some space for Matautia.
Third.
Jamie Ellis put down by Williams. Matautia scampers away into Greenwood's tackle. Powell involved again.
Hold.
Morgan Smithies in there for the Warriors. Millington, now it's Watts, sending a fail. Faced by Luluai. And it's Isa who shuts the door. Chase Blair. Truman on the last, goes aerial. Rankin. Does it go forward off Rankin?
Knock on, mate. Knock on. It's a scrum, Castleford scrum.
Yeah, you're right.
All up, yeah.
Castle get the ball here.
Shot clock on.
Plenty of pressure on the youngster. Jake Truman, the coach, Darryl Powell, applauds it. Paul McShane over on the right-hand side, looking to play those short sides. George Williams is the man that's knocked the ball forward. And you can see straight away Jamie Ellis saying to the referee, it's our ball, it's our head and feed. 20 metres out here. Good position to attack from.
And they're looking to compete on those kicks. We talked before the game about Jake Truman, the variety of kicks he's got in his armoury, but they're going to compete on them all.
That mistake from Williams gives Castleford a gilt-edged opportunity now to attack this Wigan defence. Just 15 metres or so away from the Warriors' line.
Hands in, mate. Just the same as
again, a strong carry from Grant Millington. And he's consistent, James Child. Another penalty for hands in at the ruck. Jamie Ellis saying that they'll go for 2 points. They've got the field position on the first play from the scrum, and they'd rather take the points rather than run out the set and try and create something.
I think it's been a really positive start for the Tigers. On numerous occasions, they've passed the ball wide, they've made ground, they've troubled Wigan's defence. I think you'd be pleased with the challenge that they provided in this opening 10 minutes, and to probably go back and receive possession 10 minutes into the game with a 2-0 lead is a significant and an important one for the Castleford side. Very good defensively for the last 4 games, we know that. They're going to need to score a few points though, and that is hard. Wigan themselves have defended the line with great pride. In theory, this is a low-scoring game, and every point matters.
14 Super League goals already this season for Jamie Ellis. And 2 more points from right in front. Castleford hit the front inside 10 minutes at the DW Stadium. The Tigers ahead by 2 points to 0.
Well, they're certainly confident, Darryl Powell's men. and they've ran hard. They've been awarded with penalties. The Cas fans are applauding the side, and Jamie Ellis missed the opening 25 games, but he's a big attacking weapon, isn't he? Played the last 4 games. Certainly adds a lot to this side and takes a lot of pressure off Jake Truman and the likes of Jordan Rankin. 3 of those creative sparks that they've got and that they need.
Kicked 8 from 8 last week against Hull, Jamie Ellis, on his 5th appearance of 2019. He missed the opening 25 matches.
And just look at who they're running at. George Williams, he makes that first tackle. He's made a number of tackles in the opening 10 minutes. They're coming down Castleford's right channel.
Brilliant offload, gives it to Jordan Rankin. All hands to the pump in defence for Wigan momentarily. Tony Clubb comes up with the defence there, and now it's Matautia in broken field for the Tigers. This is dangerous, and Matautia still going. Clawed to the ground by Luluai. It's a decent play, the ball though, and on the back of it, McShane finds Truman. Jesse Lefeo now skips past one into Smithy's tackle.
We're playing earlier, and Jake Truman giving the ball to Jesse Lefeo.
Truman, the danger man. Hands it to Millington this time. They're inching closer though, Castleford. This would crown a really good start for Donald Powell's men. Last tackle, Truman looking for the dummy and the try. Got a hat-trick last week, of course. And it's the post that denies him this time.
And he scored a try like that last week, didn't he? He took on the forwards on the last play. He got through last week, couldn't get through this week. But they're making ground. Jesse Lefeo got an early pass off Jake Truman. He picked his man that he was going to go at. Made decent meters, then Millington. And now look at them now, here, trying to turn that pressure up.
Look at the Tigers' defence here. They are pumped up for this. Desperate for 5th spot. Wigan desperate for the top 2, but they've knocked the ball on under that Castleford pressure, and McMeekin can pick it up now for the Tigers. Nathan Massey.
And that's it, Ben, you're hunting that mistake, and that's what Cas have done. They've got the mistake. The mistake come from, I think it was Partington.
Here is Millington then for Castleford. Hands the ball over to McShane. Here is Watts now. Jesse Lefeo, standing start. 5 metres away now. Castleford Tigers. McShane. Truman. Massey. Into Powell's tackle. Partington as well involved there. McShane. The ball's come free. Wigan have seen off the threat. Joe Burgess has picked up possession, and the Warriors survive.
Oliver Gildart it was who got up and shut that play down. He took the gamble he needed to. He just felt like Castleford was starting to open up. It's a long pass from Liam Watts. And at the time that ball is in the air, the decision is made by Oliver Gildart to go and snatch that play, and then they back it up by giving a penalty away. Joe Burgess unable to play the ball, and the pressure is relieved.
Castleford failed to score a try on their last 2 visits to Wigan. They were beaten 6-4 in April and 14-0 in last October's playoff semi-final. Found it tough to find the line on that occasion as well. Breathless opening 13 minutes at the DW Stadium. Luluai's pass. Millington in defence alongside Massey for the Tigers.
Pushing forward, 3.
Luluai pulling the strings. Almost through the tackle there of McShane. Ball's come free.
Well, he said it was a one-on-one.
McShane is not going to hang around to see what James Child, the referee, is going to do there. He's just going to carry on and carry the fight to this Wigan side.
Well, Jake Truman's on his right shoulder then. He didn't pass the ball.
He knows, Tez, if he passes that ball, as try scored as an inquest. He takes the gamble here, gets the ball, and then takes the tackle knowing that there'll be no further action.
Castleford bossing things early against the champions. Lefeo into the tackle there of Willie Isa, Luluai, Sargentson in there to wrap him up. Chase Blair waits, gets the ball to Truman. Here is Watts now. Ellis can't take the ball in. They're having the possession, they're having the position, but they're not able to do anything with it just at the moment, Castleford Tigers.
I think the difference between a game at the end of September and October and one throughout the rest of the season is that games at this time of the year require a greater degree of patience. teams have got far more on the line. They defend with greater concentration, intensity. You tend to see less tries. And I think teams need to hold on, wait, maybe just accept that they're not going to score as frequently as they do in the hotter months of May, June and July. Another chance gone here and a penalty conceded. Twice they've let them out of the half too easy.
Hold.
Sargent's on halfway then for the Warriors.
We're going to have to tighten that up, aren't they, Castleford Tigers? That's 3 occasions now. Penalty, hands in at the play of the ball. And James Child will not have it.
Tony Clubb.
Move. Hold. Go, don't grab hold.
Meakin made the tackle. Powell for Williams. Now it's Greenwood.
Move. Hold. 3.
Gildart. Williams. Powell. Good run there from Morgan Smithies.
Oh, move. Back up,
Youngest among the nominees for that Young Player of the Year award, and
Good.
up against Jake Truman tonight, of course. Luluai shut down solidly by Nathan Massey. Sargentson flings the ball to Powell. This is Williams. Through McMeekin, and Williams still going. Williams is going to get the opener for Wigan. The champions hit back and get the first try against the Castleford Tigers. They won the top 2, and they have hit the front on 16 minutes. George Williams glides through for his 14th Super League try of the season. His last weekly round game here for Wigan before he moves to the NRL in 2020. What a start.
Well, Castleford have had all the field position, but they've just got 2 points to show for it. Wigan have a chance, and they take it. George Williams, the man who creates so many tries for his teammates around him, beats Mike McMeekin, who's normally a better defender than that. But that's what you get from George Williams. He's a thick-set halfback who's very strong and goes at the line. And once he gets through, he's got decent speed to finish it off.
It is a one-on-one miss by Mike McMeekin, but look at the spaces in between defenders on their own goal line. The play before, Paul McShane thinks he's anticipated a drop-off. He breaks that line, and then he goes back to the short side. That means they have 4 defenders on that short side. And the spaces in between defenders is manna from heaven to George Williams. That balance, that footwork he's got, he just beats the bigger man.
George Williams, a try in the defeat at the Jungle 5 months ago. Hardiker can't add the extras though, but we're going to head by 4 points to 2.
I tell you what's really interesting about George Williams here, when he gets the ball, he's one of the very few players who actually jump in the air. The ball comes back, here's Tony Lulu on this side of the field here. They get set up. But as he gets the ball, it's the jump that very often unsettles the opponents. Nice pass from Powell, gives him time. And then as he jumps, he's going to land on 2 feet. You're not sure whether he's going to go left or right. That jump in the air momentarily gives him a head start. That one frame, he's in front of everybody else, the defenders that he's playing against. And he always does it before he makes a break.
Jordan Rankin restarts for Castleford, taken by Williams. Here is Tony Clubb now. Shoulder into Liam Watt. Crowd enjoyed that.
Wait, go. Don't grab him.
Sam Powell.
Well, nice first carry from Tony Clubb. When he sends Liam Watts backwards,
2.
makes it easier then for Sam Powell to get in,
Go. 2.
and runs off the back of that. And the youngster, Ollie Partington,
Surrender.
really impressed with him. Started the last
3.
7 games, got a massive future in front of him, along with this guy, Morgan Smithies.
And if we look at the last 18 minutes, Castleford have had a lot of field position. They've given away needless penalties. They've squandered possession. When Darryl Powell gets his side in, he will say, we need to be ruthless in that final third of the field.
Luluai on the last tackle. Puts boot to ball, and Minikin watches that all the way. Wigan defence is there, though, led by Smithies, and Isa completes the tackle.
Release, go.
Rankin's pass. James Clare now.
2.
Well, still the mindset here now for Wigan will be go and get them. First few players, let's take the yardage off the likes of Chase Plur and the outside backs.
Hold.
Clare, Minikin, Rankin have got some decent footwork. And then you bring on the power boys up the middle. Liam Watts attracting 4 defenders.
Hold.
Can't get up, play the ball quick. Good dominant defence from the Warriors.
Millington into the tackle of Partington and Greenwood.
Release. Nice. 5, wait, mate, wait. Go.
Castleford trying to respond to that try from George Williams. There's opposite number Truman with the kick. Hero last week, hat-trick. Hardacre. Taken by his opposite fullback, Rankin there.
One, move. Go.
Bevan French, first chance we've seen him in ball in hand.
Oh, you don't want him to get a quick play of the ball, do you? The speedster over on the right-hand side, real crowd favourite here.
Sargentson now into the tackle of Massey and Jesse Senna-Lefeo. Millington, a third man in there for Castleford. Powell. This is Gildart now.
Wigan about to make a change. He's put in a good shift, Tony Clubb, but they're going to mix things up, change it around, and they've got some size on the bench with Flower, O'Loughlin and Navarrete, who enters the field.
Just look at this chase jumping in there. It's a fantastic kick from Powell. And Joe Burgess, the left winger, he's over there making the first tackle. That's the commitment here now. They've got to close down the Tigers.
Minican sent back towards his own line there. Really good kick. It's got Castleford penned in, and the crowd find their voice as well. Step from Clare. Nice offload as well. Nice counter punch from Castleford this. Good from Jesse Senna-Lefeo. Minican cuts back inside.
That's exciting play. They had 3 players around him. Still managed to get that offload away. And you can see it does get you out of trouble.
2 teams going head-to-head at the DW Stadium. The prize for both absolutely huge.
Outside, clear.
And it's only going to get bigger in Super League. Joe Burgess into McMeekin's tackle. Matautia in there as well. Williams. Gildart gets away from 1.
2, move. Liam on this 10, Liam. Hold. Go, good mate.
Into the second quarter of this match, Wigan just 4-2 up. Only try of the game, scored by George Williams.
A good tackle from the substitute Oliver Holmes then. Again, involved in that play. First contact was high on young Morgan Smithies. Doing a decent job just defending. On the front foot, trying to slow it down. For a decent kick again from the dummy half from Sam Powell. And look at this chess. It is a game of chess. You're looking for that mistake. You don't want it near your own line. And every time you're carrying the ball in these slippy conditions, you're always really worried, first of all, about catching the ball and then adjusting to where the defenders are.
Also one of the speedsters in this Castleford side, Greg Minican. Look at the work he's having to do in defence, going back to carry this ball and then face that Wigan defensive line. McMeekin for the Tigers. Greenwood over the top for Wigan.
Go 3.
Matautia.
Still 3.
This is Rankin now. Could be something for Castleford here. Smithies in the tackle for the Warriors alongside Powell.
Well, that could be the plan for Cass. Last couple of times they managed to get an offload away. It's trouble Wigan.
5.
Liam Watts.
Move all the way. Go.
Also trying to trouble the Warriors. And Truman goes cross-field. Last tackle. Tester for Burgess. Shielded by Gildart initially. Good work from Wigan there. Don't forget, grand final not too long away now. All the information you need. Saturday, October the 12th is the date. Any more information you need, go to superleague.co.uk and they will tell you everything you need to know. The biggest night of the year, Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams. Do not miss it. Wigan desperate to book their place. Castleford desperate to book their place. All on the line at the DW Stadium tonight.
5. Move, come on.
Good defensive set from Castleford Tigers there. Just 21 metres made with the ball. That's the reason they catch the ball on the full and on the front foot with Jordan Rankin.
Good take from Jordan Rankin as well.
Hold. Go.
Grabbed his 9th try of Super League 24 last week against Hull. The former Australian schoolboy.
Go 2.
Fascinating to see if the Tigers can continue to do what they did in that opening 10-15 minutes. They're making good ground here. They've still got the passes and support play. Here they go.
Truman. Just lost the trajectory of that pass there, though. And another chance for the Tigers in good field position. Does not result in 4 points.
I think they'll get the ball back here, they won't. They're knocked on by Dan Sargentson.
It was a loose pass from Castleford. Dan Sargentson, in trying to pick it up, knocked the ball on. Jake Truman knew what he wanted from his second row. He wanted him in that next hole. He already decided to go inside at Jesse Senilafeo and Cas Tigers with a bit of field position and 6 tackles to have a go at getting over the white stripe.
Let's go. Wait, Jake. Wait, mate. Just wait. Heads in. Heads in. Wait.
Try against Castleford on his London Broncos debut back in March 2012. Dan Sargentson. Here is Holmes for the Tigers. Looking to retake the lead. 10 metres or so away from that Wigan line. Liam Watts from McShane's pass. He gets the ball back through the legs of Massey, picked up by Truman. Phil mentioned the word composure, certainly as far as Castleford are attacking. Still don't seem to have found the rhythm in offence just yet. 15 to go first half. Seen plenty of the ball, but yet to cross that Wigan line. Truman. Jesse Senilafeo's head rocked back by that shot from Willie Isa. Sargent's in attendance as well. Here is Truman. It's a really teasing ball, hits the post and just hacked to safety by Zach Hardacre in the nick of time.
Well, good job the former Castleford man was there then. What a good kick from Truman. And Jamie Ellis, well, he thought he was going to get to that ball, building the pressure,
Bringing the all-ups in.
just playing what's in front of them and knowing that they've just got to keep on trying to get as many sets as they can down near Wigan's line.
Well, Castleford have been pretty good this year. Goal line droppers converted into tries. Only Salford have been better. Their strike rate, here's a great chance here now to try to take the lead. They've had some opportunities, but if they don't score, you can't see it as a failure. You've got to be patient.
Daniel Smith for the Tigers.
Wait, fellas, wait.
The pass from Matautia. You can hear what the Wigan fans on the terraces thought of that one. Here is Holmes meanwhile for the visitors. Truman, I beg your pardon, back on the inside foot. Watts inching closer once more. Darryl Powell's man. McShane. Ellis. Smith. Spinning into the tackle of Greenwood. Another examination of this Wigan defence coming up. Holmes. It was Navarrete who made the tackle. Truman with another teasing kick. There's going to be too much on it.
Outside Castleford Tigers there. That was the worst of his options available to him. He had numbers.
Look
and the retreating defenders in Wigan shirts were in trouble as well.
Bevan French. Rapid from 20 metres out there. And immediately Wigan turned defence into attack in the blink of an eye. Oliver Gildart almost through. They're looking to ratchet up the tempo here, the Warriors. Roared on by this crowd. Here is Hardacre, back on the inside. Burgess. It's Daniel Smith over the top. Watts downstairs. Williams will have it in a minute. Fires it to Luluai. Big hit there, though, coming in from Oliver Holmes.
Hold. Go 3.
Good run as well from Partington. And Wigan now find themselves in the heart of that Castleford defence, but then the ball comes free again. Pressure is mounting on both these sides and the air is creeping in.
Well, Navarrete, he crashes onto that ball, expecting to get it, but the ball wasn't meant to him. They were looking to shift the ball over to the right-hand side, looking to give it to George Williams, but the French international gets in the way. But at least for Adrian Lamb, they've made the mistake at the right end of the field. Good set of 6 as well from Adrian Lamb's side. From being under pressure near their own line, going 80 metres with decent work from their outside backs that were finding some space, getting through the defensive line, landing on the front foot.
Navarrete made his Super League playoff debut in the semi-final defeat of Castleford. This is Smith now for the Tigers into Powell's tackle.
2. Move! Wait, remain. Wait. Go.
Liam Byrne alongside him in defence for the Warriors. Stumble from Senilafeo. Pounced on immediately by Isa. Those two not being too far from each other in this opening 28, 29 minutes.
Adrian Lamb talked about that before the game. He's got complete faith in that right side defence. There's some quality in two whackers there in Luluai and Willie Isa, who will chop you in half if the opportunity arises. Sean O'Loughlin getting ready.
How pleased Adrian Lamb will be to have his captain back. Missed the last four. It's a teasing kick, could go anywhere. Almost picked up by Matautia, and Burgess can lead the counter. Burgess is quick. Burgess almost away. Vital contribution there from Daniel Smith. End to end at the DW Stadium.
Brian Carney always says you just cannot let this rugby league football bounce, and that almost cost Wigan. It was mixed up between the backfield players on who was going to take it in the end. Well, it was a relief that Matautia wasn't able to gather that in.
Here is Sean O'Loughlin, 7 appearances in the dream team, all the pedigree in the world, and Navarrete crashes into the tackle there of Watts and Smith and McShane.
Knock on, Romain Navarrete. Romain Navarrete and Ben Flower, very similar players, short, stocky players. They're in the team because they set position, set field position, give a good quick play of the ball. But unfortunately, in his haste to try and play the ball, Romain Navarrete, he doesn't have sufficient control of the ball. Here's the high kick, the bouncing ball, competing for high kicks. We saw it a couple of times in the opening 5 or 10 minutes from Cas Tigers, but he was only a matter of inches off Peter Matautia.
Just wait, mate, just wait.
Matautia, the Samoan international, takes his place in the scrum. It's going to be fed by Jamie Ellis in a minute. McShane, Oliver Holmes.
Surrender! Song, wait! Roll on.
Daniel Smith. Wrapped up by Byrne. Navarrete as well.
Get square, wait. Go, 2.
Ellis, McMeekin.
Dangerous tackle, thinks Joe Greenwood.
Well, last week it was a sin-bin, wasn't it, for Liam Farrell?
He upends Mike McMeekin, doesn't he? Only a good battle between those two players.
Time off.
So he gets underneath, just lifts his right leg.
Okay.
Liam Byrne over the top. So he dips on contact and just lifts him illegally.
Come here, man.
Yeah, I think it's just a penalty. That it's you know, more of what the player was doing himself, and his momentum went forward.
The leg at the back, mate. All right, okay. It's here, Jamie.
Referee thinks the same.
And go for 2 points here, Ben. See the little drop-off play, Mike McMeekin trying to set his line and picking out Sam Powell. Not the big frame of Joe Greenwood. Well, Jamie Ellis, will he knock over another 2 points here to level things up? Obviously, the Warriors have scored 1 try, had 1 chance realistically in this game, and George Williams took that.
And Castleford have had a few chances, half chances at least. Okay, I think 3 or 4 times where they've been near, 1 pass away from getting over that line.
Stay on side.
Jamie Ellis looking to tie this one up. 8 minutes short of the interval. Successful with his first attempt earlier in the half. He's failed with that one though. Wigan still have the lead. The Warriors ahead by 4 points to 2. And Jenna downstairs on the touchline, she's got news on Nathan Massey.
Yeah, potentially a big blow for Castleford. A couple of minutes ago, Nathan Massey came off clutching his shoulder. I'm told that they will assess the severity of the injury at half-time.
Time's off. 15 seconds. Stay on.
Thanks very much, Jenna.
I'll look for it, mate.
Wigan
10 seconds.
wearing black armbands tonight in memory of George Herring of local amateurs, Wigan St Patrick's, the heartbeat of that club, who sadly passed away this morning. George coached many of the Wigan players you see in the lineup tonight, and they requested to wear the black armbands that the Warriors currently are in your picture there. And all of us at Sky Sports had our condolences to the Wigan St Patrick's club. Very sad day for a true legend from the town of Wigan.
Go, 2.
Castleford, meanwhile, in attack with Truman. Here is Jesse Senilefeo now. 7 minutes to go to half-time. Just 1 try in it.
3.
Truman. That's Ellis. McMeekin gathered in by Matautia.
Well, the passing took place too far away from the defenders, so it had a little effect, but this offload might.
Did well to find Ellis again, and here is Rankin now trying to step around Navarrete. O'Loughlin helps out his teammate there.
Back up. Go far.
McShane. 2 tackles left for Castleford. Truman offloads this time for Matt Cook.
5. Move, Zach. Hold. Go.
McShane. Truman. Rankin. Rankin still going. Rankin has got the line, but
Obstruction there.
there's an obstruction in there, says James Child. Castleford denied, just a few metres away from the Wigan line again.
Well, when they look to go to the left-hand side, he pulls it back, Jordan Rankin, because Greg Minikin, the left winger in the red boots, had overrun the ball, whether he was expecting the kick or whether he was expecting to play through the line. But you've got to make sure that you stand back, give yourself a few more metres, especially in these conditions. You want to catch it and give yourself a chance, not playing at the line.
Daryl Powell, the first coach in Castleford's history to secure 5 straight top 5 finishes, and on the verge of making it 6 in a row.
2.
That's what it means to the Castleford Tigers. The Warriors hunting the top 2. Penalty coming though, that's going to help Adrian Lamb's men.
Well, Daniel Smith, he's the man who goes over the top of Romain Navarrete. He's been good value, I think, Daniel Smith, since he signed.
His 100th Super League appearance tonight. He's played in 16 of 20 since joining the Tigers. Sub in the last 4.
I think Castleford's problem is everyone concedes penalties from time to time, but you'd say that the 5 they've conceded, many of those were avoidable. They've asked themselves, they've invited Wigan here. The dominance they've had in the game has been balanced out because of the ability to allow Wigan here to get close to the line.
Inside the last 5 minutes, first half, an absorbing first 35. Wigan just about shading things.
Got 2.
Powell, Luluai, Isa, locked up by Chase Blair. Good defence there.
3.
And the 27-year-old. Powell, O'Loughlin. Now it's Williams and Gildar. 5 metres away from that Castleford line. That's how close Wigan are. Burgess, Williams, booming past to Powell. Now Luluai. Hardacre chasing his own kick. Was he taken out? Did Bevan French touch that ball down?
6.
No, he rescues that. Is it Greg Minikin? Didn't they do a decent job then of assessing what was in front of them? They numbered up Jake Truman. You can see there's got to be communication there. And Greg Minikin does well to get back, get between those 2 Wigan attackers and save a certain 4 points, potential 6. And he gets the ball, he grounds it, and takes it over the dead ball line.
The mere fact that Sean O'Loughlin's on the pitch now means Wigan can play with greater width. He's probably the best passing forward in rugby league in this country, and you'll see now Wigan, I think, and their outside backs enjoying the width and freedom with the early passes that he'll provide.
Go.
Powell. This is Sean O'Loughlin.
Surrender!
11 times a Great Britain international, 28 England appearances as well.
Got 2.
Navarrete.
Move! Hold.
Daniel Smith with the tackle. Powell for Luluai. O'Loughlin once more. Looked one way, almost came back the other. Locked up by Holmes in the nick of time. Matt Cook over the top. 10 metres away, the Warriors. Thomas Luluai. George Williams. Williams with the kick, could go anywhere. And Matautia does really well in greasy conditions to hold on to the ball.
There's good defence from Castleford, and that's recognition as well. They've kicked on the last 2 occasions. That was on the 4th time. They can't break them down. Say the only time that they've looked dangerous, George Williams, when he's took on defenders, spots the space. I think it's been a great opening 37 minutes. This is exactly what you need going into the playoffs.
Compelling. 37 and a half. Just 2.5 to go to the break. Ellis, booming kick on the last. He made 30 metres in that set, though, the Tigers, and Zach Hardacre just gobbles that kick up and launches the counter against his former club. He will need no motivation for this one.
Oh, he's lost it. He's lost the ball. Matautia and McMeekan get the former Cas man on his kick return, and Castleford have got destiny in their own hands, haven't they? To finish in the top 5, they've got to make sure that they come away with a win. They can't afford to let anybody else try and help them out with a win or a loss to keep the place in the top 5.
So you just got to try and release it. Yeah.
Hull up against the league leaders, St Helens, tomorrow night.
Heads in, chocolate cuff ball in. Help!
One of 5 Super League matches. Friday the 13th is beckoning.
Move, get square!
These two have unfinished business.
Go.
On Thursday the 12th, Wakefield, London, 7 o'clock start, Sky Sports Arena tomorrow.
High shot, 2 points, definitely.
Take the 2 on offer, wouldn't you? Remain Navarrete. The footwork. Such an underrated player, isn't he, Matt Cook? A strong runner of the ball, but also has that late evasion, that late footwork. And you can see a little bit of fatigue in those big men at the middle.
Yeah, man.
Matt Cook returned after 9 weeks out with a try against Hull on his 250th Super League appearance last week. He had missed the previous 6 with vocal cord palsy. He got an elbow in the throat against London. It was initially diagnosed with laryngitis. They tell me that his teammates were delighted that he's got his voice back this week.
I don't think it's catching. One up here, my vote's for.
I don't know who you're looking at. Ellis, successful in his first attempt. Sliced his second wide. And this would lock us up at 4 points apiece going into half-time. Inside the last 10 seconds. Nothing to choose between these two sides in the opening 40. Ellis with the chance to tie the contest at 4 points apiece, right in front of the posts as the hooter goes, and Ellis has hit the post. It stays 4-2. Ellis can't believe it. Every point could matter at the end of this one. He thinks maybe it's come off the post and gone in.
So, ladies and gentlemen, half-time score in this Betfred Super League.
Well, no indication that's gone in, is there? Sometimes they think it goes in and over the top, but his appeal means nothing.
The touch judges keep their flag down. It means that Castleford will trail at half-time. Nothing to choose between these two sides. Wigan hunting the top 2. Castleford looking to keep their season alive. Ellis with an early penalty, but Williams with the only try of the first half. Anyone's game in the second 40. Analysis to come, half-time, Wigan 4, Castleford 2.
Just a reminder that tomorrow on Sky Sports Golf with a 7:30 a.m. we have Solheim Cup action. It's the 4 balls and foursomes, 7:30 a.m. Sky Sports Golf. We have hit the last of the weekly rounds in the Betfred Super League, and it's all started here at the DW Stadium. The reigning champions have a 4-2 lead over the Castleford Tigers at half-time. Wigan hoping to secure 2nd spot in the Betfred Super League. The Castleford Tigers hoping to nail a playoff spot for themselves. Let's have a look at the half-time statistics. Rain falling all day here in Wigan, perhaps contributing to the 8 errors from the home side, though they'll point to the Castleford Tigers, who have made just 3 in that first 40 minutes. Relatively low completion rates for both sides, a 70 and a 74. Castleford with 12 missed tackles to the Wigan Warriors 7. Let's take you into the dressing rooms here at the DW Stadium as Adrian Lamb and Darryl Powell address their troops. Half-time, John Wells, tight scoreline, nothing that Adrian Lamb wouldn't have expected.
No, he wouldn't, but he would be disappointed with not just the handling errors, but the penalties conceded as well. They've been let off the hook a couple of times by some wayward goal kicking.
Well, it's turning into a must-win game for the Castleford Tigers if they want to contain their own destiny in their hands. Darryl Powell, what will his assessment be of the first 40 minutes, you think?
He'd be pretty pleased, I think. There was one knock-off there, which led to the George Williams try. Other than that, I think the game plan would have been to target the halves, target the fringes. They've done that pretty effectively in the first 40.
Okay, Castleford Tigers without a win here in their last 4 visits. Last time they came here, it was 6-4 victory for the Wigan Warriors. Castleford were unable to score a try. They haven't got a try in that first 40 minutes either. Some goal kicking have kept them in the game. Some goal kicking, missed chances from Jamie Ellis has perhaps cost them a lead in that match.
Yeah, well, they should be taking the lead into half time, and that's a let-off really for the Wigan Warriors, and they're a side playing with that much confidence that I don't think you can. That was Ellis's first penalty on the 8th minute. Here's the sole try of the half, and really well taken by Williams.
Yes, Williams stepping inside Mike McMeekin. We'll look at that in a bit more detail shortly. That gave the Wigan Warriors a 4-2 lead. A poor miss from Zach Hardacre, who's been very good with the boot of late. Jamie Ellis, 8 from 8 against Hull FC in round 28. He's missed 2 kicks that somebody with his ability you would expect to get. This one here coming, well, he says going over. That's some very well-positioned touch judges and a referee. Disagree with Jamie Ellis, and importantly on the scoreline, it still just shows a 4-2 lead for the Wigan Warriors. Much has been made of the Castleford Tigers' defence in recent weeks. Of course, very good scoring points against Hull FC last time out. You're going to have a look at them defensively against the Wigan Warriors, and if you can defend well against the Wigan Warriors, you would say it's only St Helens perhaps that throw more at you in the league. Yeah, and the irony is that the one person that they would have been speaking about an awful lot in the build-up to this week, Jake Truman's grabbed a lot of headlines for Cass. George Williams naturally grabs headlines every week that he plays. The Tigers would have been doing plenty of work on looking how to nullify him, nullifying the threat on the edges. The irony being he scored the only try of the game on the edge. But just what they're doing and their timing in defence has improved an awful lot. A little adjustment there, very, very late from Chase Blair. Here's Williams sat in the pocket. This is where he's at his most dangerous because he's deep enough to be able to assess what's going on. So have a look at the read from Chase Blair. He's somebody who's improved defensively every week that he's been at the Tigers. And that lockdown, that picture there, if you look at that picture and Darryl Powers to show his men, that's the picture you want with options and men covering round the ball here and a man wrapping the ball up with George Williams. That will have been worked hard at in training this week and executed for the most part particularly well by the Tigers. Okay, Adrian Lamb, the Wigan Warriors coach, said pre-game we're going to target Jake Truman. Expect you're coming up against a very good right side defence. There's a couple of different ways to target a halfback. You're going to have a look at one now. Well, you can put him under pressure with the ball and you can put him under pressure in defence as well. So as Jake Truman have highlighted for you, have a look at the positioning of Jesse Senilafeo. He's almost marshalling his man. You could argue that Jesse Senilafeo should be sat in this spot here. He's just a metre or so closer, and that has a comforting effect on a young halfback, but it also puts quite an awful lot of pressure on the man inside. So there's a couple of things to watch here. Have a look at Jesse Senilafeo first of all. So the point at which this ball gets up here, Lefeo is up. Now this defensive line are able to address and assess what's coming at them. That's done to try and avoid Wigan throwing 2 players in at Jake Truman here and making him ride tackles. But also, have a look at the work because Jesse Senilafeo is sat right on the hip of Jake Truman that this man does. He's really got to accelerate when George Williams goes across the back here, and he's got to make some ground up. And pressure the ball player. And exactly. So here you go. Look at that change in pace from Paul McShane, and it ends up the Wigan play plays itself out. So that's the ironic thing is that we're now going to look at the sole try of the game, which is a George Williams try. Castleford get this wrong a little bit. The numbers are sent late. There's a man out of the play, and it is Paul McShane here, sat 4 on the short side. You don't defend numbers when you've got that. You defend space. There's only 10 metres on the short side. Listen, the idea that's been drummed into them all week has been, look, you take options, you take time away, but it's a very, very dangerous game when you're playing against the class of George Williams. Just have a look. Phil picked this up in commentary. Have a look at the jump here. As he lands, you've got no way of knowing whether he's going to go in or out, and he contorts his body, does George Williams. Have a look at this. That's an unnatural looking rugby playing image as a still image. But I think he does. He's an exquisite ball player, really well balanced. He's chunky as well. Terry said this. He's got some weight on him, so he's very, very hard to get hold of and stop once he gets himself in that space. That, though, is an international back rower, Mike McMeekin, who you would not expect to make the same mistake again on George Williams, an international teammate of his. That didn't cost them, though. They only trail by 2 at half-time. Can the Castleford Tigers secure 5th spot, the 5th and final playoff spot? Lee Radford and the Hull FC boys, you would imagine, will be watching this one nervously at half-time. It's Wigan with a 4-2 lead, and it's looking good to give Hull a chance going into tomorrow.
1 round to go. There are 4 sides on 20 points at the bottom of the table. That is how close it is at the bottom. And it's all on the line for those clubs.
Friday the 13th will be a horror show for one team in round about 25 hours' time. Wakefield London is our main event, but we will have reporters where it matters as the drama unfolds in the race to stay in Super League in 2019. Sky Sports Arena, Sky Sports main event from 7. Do not miss this. Half-time here. Castleford unable to cross the whitewash in their last 2 visits to Wigan. They were beaten 6-4 here in April and 14-0 in the playoff semi-final last October. And they've been shut out again in the first 40 here. George Williams with the only try of that first half. And Ellis unable to convert a penalty with the last kick of that first period. Anxious 40 minutes ahead for Adrian Lamb and the Wigan Warriors. Anxiety for Daryl Powell as well. We're underway and Rankin drops the ball from the restart, but he's facing his own post and Castleford get away with it.
Well, the players, the Wigan players, they're appealing for a voluntary tackle. The player just dived at the ground.
Yeah, well, they're calling it a surrender tackle now, so that, you know, they just drop on him, they don't get a quick play of the ball.
But if they don't drop on him, what's the referee's option? He juggles it, he knows he has to get back over the try line.
Well, he has to get up, but they dropped on him before he did that.
Move, get square. Wait. Go through.
McShane. Jesse Senna-Lefebvre gets the ball away. That's brilliant from McShane.
Well, don't panic though, Ben. Well, you're not getting any ground further forward now that it's a rushed offload. Jesse Senna-Lefebvre, he's in some trouble. When we were talking about in the first half, they are offloading ball. They are getting some decent joy. But sometimes if you're getting drove back, you've got to take your medicine. You've got to try and get down and play as quick as you can. And that's good technique from Iset. Comes up with a legal tackle, but he falls awkwardly. Lefebvre, look at that, he just puts his arm out. His right arm falls straight onto his shoulder, is it?
Didn't he have a shoulder injury early on in the year? In the action of scoring a try, Jesse Senna-Lefebvre, I'm sure it was that left shoulder.
Rueful look from Daryl Powell.
The ball's on the line.
Suffered with injuries.
Well, he knows then that they need to score tries. There are 3 penalties in the first half where they've had a shot at goal. They've only got 1 of them. So they could be in front by 2 points, but they've got to score some tries. And with the likes of Jake Truman and Jamie Ellis and Rankin, they have got people that will cause problems.
As Jesse Senna-Lefebvre receives treatment, we can go and get some half-time news from Jenna Brooks. What did the coaches say, Jenna?
Yeah, I spoke to Adrian Lamb first. He said that he was really disappointed with the number of errors that his players have made. Wigan have made 8 handling errors to Castleford's 3. So no surprise, halftime message was definitely to limit the basic errors. But he's pleased with their defence. He's asked the players to settle down and stick to the game plan. As far as Daryl Powell goes, well, he said it's a tough game, as expected. Obviously disappointed with Jamie Ellis's goal-kicking missed opportunities. But he has also asked his players just to make better attacking plays. And finally, a really big blow for them. Nathan Massey will not be returning. He has succumbed to that shoulder injury.
Thanks very much, Jen. A big blow for Daryl Powell then. No Nathan Massey for this second 40 minutes. And Wigan camped deep in that Castleford half. Gonna have to defend without Massey. Luluai. O'Loughlin. Pressure from Cork and McShane.
Move. Hold. Go.
Sam Powell. Ben Flower.
5. Move.
Last one for the Warriors, just 8 metres or so away. O'Loughlin at the line. Short ball. Going to turn the ball over, but just a metre or so away from the Tigers' line.
Well, he gives it to Liam Byrne instead of going out the back. He has faith in the youngster. And it's a decent place to turn the ball over. And I think Castleford find themselves in trouble here. The previous set that they had the ball, they kicked on the 4th play after that injury to Jesse Senna-Lefebvre. They needed to win that play of the ball to make it easier for the man who's kicking the ball to get some distance.
I think you've said it a few times, Tez, when Cas Tigers play that ad hoc, that off-the-cuff rugby league. They're a dangerous side. Offloads, pre-line passes, that is part of that, but you have to earn the right to do it. You can see an offload there by Dan Smith to Matt Cook that ended up...
Move down!
Nothing came of it.
Go for outside.
McShane moved in there, acting halfback, got the kick away and turns Bevan French around.
And that's a better kick. When there's no pressure on Paul McShane, he can look up, he gets out from dummy half, goes forward, pulls up the defensive line and slots it exactly where he wants it.
Sargent's had shut down by Holmes. Hardacre's pass, it's Burgess now.
Will be nice and physical here. Castleford short up that middle, work really hard from Marker.
Break from Gildart.
Too easy, too easy. Too many metres then around the ruck area.
Do manage to control the play of the ball though, as Wigan look to ratchet up the pressure here. Good run from Greenwood. Slings the ball brilliantly to Williams. Wigan in the mood early, second half. 3.5 gone. 4-2 they lead, looking for the second try of the game. O'Loughlin. Hardacre now. More motivated than most and chasing his own kick. It's been knocked out by Miniker. Hardacre fires up. Hardacre touches down. And the referee awards the try. Zach Hardacre. 13 tries in 30 Castleford appearances in 2017. And now he strikes against his old club to put some daylight between the champions and the Tigers.
Sensational tries, and it all comes off the back of the work Oliver Gildart does. Around the play of the ball, finds some space, quick ruck speed there. Beautiful hands, and Zach Hardacre in broken field, getting back to somewhere near his best at the back end of the year. You can see what it means to the fullback. Great spreading of the ball. George Williams goes close over on that left side. He sees the space, and it's a bad fumble and a bad mistake from Minikin, but came from the pressure of Zach Hardacre.
And that's it, man. You've got to react with that pressure. They couldn't do that. Great run from Gildart, broken over on the left-hand side. And then Zach Hardacre showed his pace, his power, and really worried Oliver Holmes when he got the ball and ran at them.
Sensational form. Zach Hardacre, 7 tries, or tries in 7, I should say, of the last 10 matches for the former Tiger. Career best 255 points so far in his debut year with Wigan. There's 2 more, and the Warriors open up a 2-score cushion.
He's been a very consistent performer for Wigan this season, and the most pleasing thing for the fans here is that he wants to get his hands on the ball. He's almost like a schoolboy, isn't he? Give me the ball, and he wants to take on the opposition, kicks it through for himself, follows it up, and there is a desire in that try for me, which tells me he wants to do everything he possibly can to make sure he's involved in the last game of the Super League season.
I mentioned he was the Tigers Player of the Year 2 seasons ago, was suspended when they got to Old Trafford. Has won the trophy on 2 occasions, but unfinished business at the Theatre of Dreams for Zach Hardacre. Here is Greenwood now for Wigan.
2, move! Wait the 10, wait.
Smith with the tackle, Powell. Holmes, good defence, brings down Liam Byrne. O'Loughlin now. There is that passing that Phil was talking about for Hardacre. And now a really good run from Dan Sargent, and cuts back inside. He's got support as well from Hardacre. 2-on-1 momentarily. He had support on the inside, support on the outside. Bevan French was there, and he held on. Wigan still going though. 2 tackles left. Flung by Luluai. Here is Flower. Holmes and Smith. Desperate defence for the Tigers. Look how close Wigan are. 5 metres away. Powell with the pass. Williams over the top. Here is Greenwood. Greenwood's going to go in. A couple of tries in a couple of minutes for the Wigan Warriors. Are they closing in on a top 2 finish in 2019? Greenwood with the try. He got 1 in the April defeat at the Jungle. He made his 150th career appearance in the home win over Cass in April. And now Greenwood strikes again against the Tigers.
Well, good value here, Dan Sargent. always had great footwork, but he blew a chance, didn't he? You could see Zach Hardaker pushed up on the inside. He thought he was going to just link up with Bevan, but they don't panic. They shift the ball over to the left-hand side, and Joe Greenwood gets the ball, goes over the try line, and they've cut loose. They've opened it up. They're running hard. They're playing with decent vision of what's in front of them, and everyone's on the same page, aren't they?
They hardly had any opportunities at all in that first half, the Wigan Warriors. And they've had two, they've taken two, scored 2 tries, and put significant space between them and the Tigers on the scoreboard now. The momentum is with the Warriors. Joe Greenwood, he had a hand in the previous try, and he's on hand there to dab the ball down.
Tough ask for Zach Hardaker to convert this one. He's failed to add the extras, but Wigan have taken control early second half. The champions ahead by 14 points to 2.
Great pass again there from Powell. Look, right on the money for George Williams. Waits, holds, teases the defenders. Greenwood has Burgess on the outside and just manages to get over the line. What a remarkable performance here from Wigan this second half. Poor in the first half. They've upped the pace. They've upped their interest levels here now, and they've taken a 12-point advantage.
Get the ball back from the restart then in the shape of Williams. This is Ben Flower now.
Another good strong carry from the back line from Ben Flower, and I think Cass have really got to chase this game now. They can't wait and hope that the Saints will do them a favour against Hull FC. They're the one who've got to take control of where they finish in the league ladder. Currently, they win tonight, they're in 5th. But at the minute, they're 2 converted scores behind the Warriors.
Strong carry from Liam Byrne, strong carry from Sean O'Loughlin. Momentum shifted Wigan's way since the interval. Ben Flower didn't like the tackle. Byrne comes back for some more, shoulder in on McMeekin. Holmes in there as well. But they're landing on the front foot here, Wigan, in these collisions. And on the last tackle, ball straight down the throat of Greg Minikin. Look at the chase from Wigan, led by Sam Powell. Ranking now for the Tigers.
Well, coming into this game, there was everyone talking about the battles where it's going to be won, whether it was Liam Watts up front against Tony Clubb, but it was the battle of the sixes. Now Jake Truman's got to stand up, show his worth. The 28-year-old, this is just his 60th Super League appearance. It's incredible that he's played so many games at such a young, tender age.
A superstar a week ago, Jake Truman, 3-try man of the match against Hull FC. His only previous hat-trick came in the Tigers' last win here. That was back in September 2017, and that was his full debut.
We've hardly mentioned him. He's got to take control at the back end of sets. They get a penalty here, Cass Tigers, and they're going to get some field position, but it'd be easy to say they've got to score tries, but the second best alternative to that will be repeat possession from one of those short pressure building kicks from Jake Truman.
Greenwood, the guilty party. All the way. Hero to villain. Tense. Darryl Powell looks on. Here is Matt Cook.
High shot. Does a decent job, doesn't he, Matt Cook? Runs hard, runs straight. Then all of a sudden, he's got a late shift at the line. Defenders look to set themselves, plant the feet, then all of a sudden you're beaten, so you swing your arm out.
Smith. Back-to-back penalties for Castleford. Is there a try at the end of it? They're desperate for a 4-pointer. They could have one here. And Chase Blair, looking for the line himself, he's decided to throw the ball out. And again, Wigan managed to come up with the answer.
Oh, he spots some space and he's trying to give it to Greg Minikin. Unfortunately, can't do that. But this is the second, the next best thing. Defend really strong. But Zach Hardaker does a decent job of staying in the field of play. Let's see what your line speed's like here, Cass.
Bevan French gets the ball away. Daniel Smith in defence alongside Matt Cook to bring down Liam Byrne. O'Loughlin. Williams kicks. 4th tackle looking for Burgess. Almost finding Burgess. Millimetres in it under pressure from Minikin.
Wow, risky play that. For me, look, you got a 12-point lead. You want to...
It's what people want to watch, though, isn't it? They don't want 5 drives in a kick.
Well, Phil, it is,
some
but
variety here.
Have a chat with Adrian Lamb when he walks past you. You don't want this as a coach.
He's coached the side for 10 months. He must be doing what he wants to say.
Look, sometimes that you back the players on the field, and George Williams has spotted something, he's gone for it. But I still don't think that with 12 points, that's a big enough margin to get the result that you're looking for.
Ball out.
Whatever the result, box office from George Williams, but will Wigan pay a penalty here? Rankin. Composure, the watchword surely for Castleford. They've had the field position, they've had the possession, they've not got the points so far.
Time off, it's tackle 2. Just bleeding, mate, you're bleeding.
James Child spotted some more blood.
Just sort his head out, mate.
There's Dan Smith.
It's the eye of Daniel Smith, yeah.
That's Paul McShane, Dan Smith, both of them. They've got some war wounds from tonight, haven't they?
I always think Tigers' best chance of scoring, well, I'm labelling it on one man, is when Liam Watts is out on the field. Been a very good player this season, I think you both agree.
Yeah, he does a similar job than the one that you said Sean O'Loughlin does from Wigan. Width, trying to find those edge spaces. And the further away from the play of the ball you are, the wider the distance between defenders, the more space available for Darryl Powell's Castleford Tigers side. So I don't disagree with you. Liam Watts, with the way that he sprays the ball about, Grant Millington could do something similar.
Daniel Smith, the grandson of former Castleford forward Eddie Lavender, played 87 games for Cas between 1945 and 1947. Tigers continue with McMeekin.
George, move!
McShane glances, gives it to Holmes. Oliver Holmes trying to get through that Wigan defensive line, repelled by O'Loughlin. McShane, though, quickly onto it. This could be something. Truman over the top. He's only fouled Bevan French, though. But then French is dragged into touch.
They go for that miracle play, don't they, on the left-hand side. Jesse Seni-Letheo, we saw him last week unsettling Jake Connor into him. And again, he just gets involved, doesn't he? Just trying to frustrate some of these Warriors players and defenders. Look at this, the ball goes over the top from Jake Truman. Impossible, really, for Minican or Blurt to get hold of. But they do the next best thing and get another set of 6. And the little push from the former teammates, like you said. Ben, Willie Iser still chasing him down. But dangerous player. When you've got someone with the speed of Bevan French, that is not the player you come up with.
In the same Penrith junior side 12 years ago, these two.
Right, don't get yourself involved, mate. No pushing and shoving. Willie? No, all right, no messing about. Here we are. So scrum down, it's cast ball.
James Child happy just to have a word with both of them.
Goal line! Okay.
Well, then they're getting opportunities, they're getting opportunities here. They've got to pull some points quick. Because the more it goes on, they haven't scored, the more that Wigan are building confidence with the defence.
You're right, I think they have to be the next team to score, Cass. Mentally, they need to get over that white stripe and get themselves back in the game.
2, Sean, move!
They're only 7 metres away as McMeekin is put down by Williams. Matt Cook trying to find some footwork, trying to find the line.
Third, Sam, move! Wait.
Hardacre in defence for Wigan. McShane's pass, here is Ellis. Nice ball for Holmes, but immediately Wigan shut the door. Great tackle, Lulawai.
He is a sledgehammer.
Smitty's over the top as well. Daniel Smith, can he find the key to unlock this Wigan defence? Not yet.
5. Go.
McShane. Ellis puts boot to ball.
Surrender!
And Greenwood gratefully dives on that. And Wigan see off another Castleford attack.
The kick, the ball should have been placed in the next hole. He plays it direct, it's straight, it's for Jamie Ellis. Kicks for himself, but there was definitely space out wide.
Guild out for Wigan.
That's it. Wait. Go.
Cook with the tackle. Iser. Cook again in defence for Castleford. O'Loughlin. Williams.
5. Move. Here we are, Matt.
Well, Cass need to get out from mark and then put pressure on the kicker. He's done it, Paul McShane.
Leon.
Lateral. So far.
1. Move.
You know, Ben, it's little efforts like that from Paul McShane that keep you in games, that keep you involved and on the scoreboard, and you're chasing something down.
Help! Release.
Truman. Jesse Senni-Lefebvre. Isa with the tackle once more. Ellis. Daniel Smith. Again, rule away with an impressive defensive contribution. Truman, McShane, Ellis, Rankin.
Good defence from Wigan, isn't it? They're not troubled, not jumping out. There's a solid line of defenders meeting Cast Tigers.
Ellis with a good kick, but Joe Burgess had the answer. 4 minutes short of the hour mark, and Wigan in control. Don't forget, it's playoff time already in Australia this weekend. Week 1 of the final series kicks off with Sydney Roosters against South Sydney. Joe Burgess's former clubs, of course, in the NRL. That's a 10:45 start in the morning. Two more on Saturday. Melbourne against Canberra first up from 8:35 on Sky Sports Action, and that's followed by Cronulla's trip to Manly from 10:45, same channel. And the last match of week 1 is Parramatta against Brisbane on Sunday morning from 7 on Action.
Oh, nice kick. Finds that space, splits Minikin and Rankin. Exactly what they're after. They have been under pressure for the last maybe 10 minutes.
Chase Blair.
Move, get square.
Well, Liam Watts, could he be the game changer for Castleford?
Made his 50th Tigers appearance last week, Liam Watts, in the defeat of former club Hull. And here he is, on the ball. Smithies, Isa involved to bring him to ground. Truman. Wigan showing real composure in defence so far. McMeekin. That's Matautia. Skips away from the tackle. Gets through O'Loughlin as well. Liam Byrne gets to him.
Held! Release 5!
Last one, though, coming up for the Tigers. Holmes has it. Oliver Holmes is going to put boot to ball.
No. With all due respect to Oliver Holmes, that's not his play.
He was shouting. He wanted the ball, didn't he, Jake Truman, over on Casford's left.
Hardacre now.
And they're like little brain explosions when you go down the short side. But they have made a mistake here, the Warriors. Well, it's all lending itself to helping Cass and giving him a leg up in this game. You can see, look, he just gets up. He is involved with Watts. He fights to spin out the tackle. He does spin out the tackle. And then with no pressure from Watts, he loses the ball.
Just wait, Jake. Second row.
Look at the reaction from Zach Hardacre. His old club.
They're entitled.
Desperate not to make a mistake. That's exactly what he's done. And so Castleford, can they give themselves a lifeline in this one? Closing in on the last quarter of a compelling spectacle at the DW Stadium.
Wait, this 10.
4-2 at half-time. 2 quick-fire Wigan tries have put the champions in control. Here is Liam Watts.
Well, you push up with him because he has got a decent offload in collision.
McShane, Truman, Rankin, Chase Blair, good tackle Willie Isa.
Wait. Go 3.
Rankin, Truman. Haven't seen too much from the reigning Young Player of the Year so far. Looking for back-to-back awards, of course. Here is Truman once more, and Ellis.
5. Draw.
Well, they're calling for a crossfield kick over on the left-hand side.
McShane, here is Truman looking for that crossfield kick, and it's going to be too long.
It's poor. That's a poor kick, that. Greg Minikin, Chase Blair, both standing out wide. And again, The crowd erupts when Bevan French gets hold of the ball, feeling that Cas were offside, and they want that space for the speedster to exploit.
We haven't seen too much of the 23-year-old Bevan French so far in this one. He will have plenty of energy left, and Castleford will know that in the last quarter of this game now. 14-2, the champions closing in on a top two finish. That's going to help. Look at the frustration from Paul McShane.
Well, he doesn't need to be frustrated with the referee or the decision there, the penalty. He needs to be frustrated with his team and his teammates who are failing to control the speed of the play of the ball. Oliver Gildart, as he has done a few times, got involved. He ended up with 3 defenders around him. Castleford Tigers failed to put him on the ground, and then from the next tackle, the penalty was given away.
Liam Byrne then for the Warriors. Into that red zone as far as Castleford Tigers are concerned once more, and Smithies carries it in with purpose.
Hold.
Crowd baying for a penalty from Liam Watts. Tony Clubb rumbles in. Powell now. Luluai. Back for Smithies. Wigan will be happy with this. They don't need to chase the game. They just want to see out the sets of 6, turn the ball over deep in Castleford territory. They're going to do more than that, though. Williams finds Hardacre. This could be a crucial blow. And Gildart has slipped the net. Gildart will celebrate. The referee awards the try. And maybe now the champions have given Castleford too much to do. Darryl Powell barking out the instructions. Oliver Gildart made his Super League debut against the Tigers with Salford 4 years ago, and now his 11th of the season has put huge daylight between the champions and the Tigers.
Oh, credit one of the youngsters, Oliver Partington. He gets the penalty. The referee, James Child, penalises Paul McShane for laying on just a bit too much. And Wigan, well, certainly have took their opportunities, haven't they, in this game. George Williams just throws the ball up, dummies a couple of defenders. All of a sudden you rock back, you're looking for what's going to happen. Just look at the defenders there, they hesitate when Williams gets the ball. Jamie Ellis just has a little look in, and he gets that, Oliver Gildart gets that one-on-one with Metaltia, rides the tackle, gets through and crosses the line.
The angles of not only the ball carriers but the support players were absolutely perfect there for the Wigan side. Everybody running into the right space and the right hole. I thought for a second we were going to set up and possibly try and drop a goal, nudge their side 1 point further out, but they had everything set, everybody in the right place. But it was a bustling run from Oliver Gildart.
Third try, second half for the Wigan Warriors. And Hardacre looking for 2 more points, can't add the extras, but the champions in control, 18 points to 2 now.
Well, I think Sam Powell's waited here for the ball. Maybe with his left hand, it might not roll forward. I'm not sure he thought the referee might have even awarded a penalty for somebody lying in the ruck and not attempting to get out of it.
Yeah, well, they had the opportunity to take it away. I think the ball hit the player on the floor rather than his hand, so, you know, a good advantage, you could say.
And a good hour, just over a good hour for Wigan there. They've never looked like the likes are going to be broken, and every chance. They're very classy. Tap back here and straight into the arms of Willie Isa.
Willie Isa on the front foot now for the champions. They've got the smell of Old Trafford in their nostrils again.
Oh, penalty, Willie Isa. The effort, the energy that he shows in that run, and his commitment to get up and play the ball as quick as he could for the man who's behind him. And that was Bevan French and Jordan Rankin, knowing that they'd been broken. He had to hold on to buy some time to shore up the middle of the field then.
Here we are, guys. Back up here, Jess.
16 to go, 16 the difference. Is there time for Castleford to launch the counter? Try and put some pressure on Hull as it stands. It will be a very, very long 24 hours for Darryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers as they wait to see what Hull will do against the league leaders.
Well, that's how much I rate that Oliver Partington.
There's a little bit of nastiness there from Jesse Senna-Lafayette. When a player is on the floor, defenceless with Castleford players around him. You can see the players pushing him, telling him they're not having that. He's a much better player than that, Jesse Senilafeo. You mentioned last week his duel with Jake Connor. Put Jake Connor right off his game. But I'm sorry, no.
No, really poor. Really poor. No idea what he's thinking there. The youngster, he wins collision, he gets rid of Liam Watts. And he's got every right to get up and play that ball. That's a really poor effort from a good player.
That looks awful from the angle that we just saw from the knee of Jesse Senilafeo.
I'll say now, he's got to be sent off.
Of course he is. The touch just came on, I think, to tell the referee. The referee may have been unsightly from where he was stood, but eventually you see the touch on the left-hand side. Look, he's on with a flag. Plenty pace from that guy.
There's only one option here.
Yeah,
there's only one option, a red card.
Clint Sharrod is the touch judge. And with 15 to go, Jesse Senilafeo sees red against the cherry and whites. Sent off. Saw the use of the knee. He's apologising as he walks off the field to give credit to him.
Hey, he wants to be apologising to his teammates as well. Their season's over now. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Like, Hull FC get the result tomorrow. That to me, I have no idea what he's thinking.
He's only apologising because he wants the lower sentence when he goes to the disciplinary committee.
Right. And I will say this, Tez, Oliver Partington, we like to watch him play. We saw when Paul McShane gave the penalty away, ripped his headband off, rubbed him on his head, so he has the ability to get under the skin of his opposition, and Oliver Partington has played a large part in what has happened there to a player who's normally very, very good.
And there he is again. And where does he go? He goes straight to Liam Watts.
A player who he bumped off a tackle or two ago.
Can Wigan exact further penalty from Castleford? We talked about composure throughout this game, and Jesse Senilafeo completely lost his head when Castleford needed it most.
Well, I'd just settle it down here. You go for 2 points. It's got a bit frantic, hasn't it? Obviously, you've had a man sent off. Emotions are still running high if you're in a cast jersey. So go for 2. Just try and take the sting out of the game.
Are they also trying to conserve some energy here because they've got a massive game next week? We think if the scores stay they are, they'll finish in second place. That's confirmed unless the Tigers come back and win this game. They'll play here next Friday against the team who eventually finish in third. And obviously they're in our eyes, and we're still just over a week to go to that. 15 minutes or just less to this match here, but we've got to make sure everybody's in the best possible shape for what could be a massive few weeks ahead. What a remarkable story as well. I mean, they won just one of their opening 6 games. To get to finish in second place, it's a remarkable comeback.
2 more points from former Tiger Zach Hardacre.
Even the most faithful Warriors fan wouldn't have expected that at the beginning of the year. Especially against a team like Castleford, who were fancied, tipped by many, to be up there challenging for the honours.
This, the first of a huge couple of days in Super League on Sky Sports. Massive match tomorrow, Wakefield against London. The battle to stay among the elite in 2020. It's a 7 o'clock start on Sky Sports Arena. Wakefield, London, the main event. We'll have reporters where it matters as one team drops out on Friday the 13th.
Well, Partington got one for the cause off Liam Watts in his face.
Come on, get away.
But he gets up, plays it.
George Williams. Williams still going.
Hasn't he got a good show and goal?
This will be great viewing right now for Lee Radford and Hull FC ahead of their clash with the league leaders St Helens in 24 hours' time. Exactly the result the black and whites were hoping for. We're 12 minutes away from it. Here is Powell. Powell trying to get through.
5, Liam. Oh, Chris. Wait, mate.
Watts with the tackle.
Goal.
Luluai been outstanding this evening, I should say. Flung to his right by Hardacre, and then Isa puts it on the toe looking for French.
In touch. Scrum down.
Well, good kick from Willie Iser, wasn't it? When he came over, I think it was in 2011. He came over, he went to Cass, signed as a winger from the Melbourne club. Gets the kick away. They don't come up with it.
Right. In that ruck.
Gets nice weight on it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, same for them as well.
And Bevan French just saying to the referee and the touch judge that the ball come off
Heads in.
a Cass player, but the ref goes with his instincts and gives Cass the head and feed.
Chase player then for the Tigers. Closing in on the last 10 minutes. The 12 men
George, move!
of Castleford. Matt Cook.
Third, move, come on! Wait, go, 3.
McShane, Watts has to get the ball away. They have the chance to arm the Tigers. And Clarkson immediately enveloped by the considerable frame there of Tony Clubb. Truman, Rankin. No way through this punishing Warriors defence though.
Move. Wait, Tony. Wait.
It's been outstanding all night in truth. Look at the pressure on Truman. Does get the ball away though.
Silas.
Comes back for the youngster Truman. He gets the ball away. Off the cuff stuff from Castleford and almost pinched by Bevan French.
Oh, it was back to 1. The referee had shouted back to 1. There was a touch from Bevan French.
Back to 1. He kicked it. All up.
He didn't get the call, did he?
No.
He was just felt so much pressure. Then Matt Cook. Want the offload, nobody's there. French kicks it. Matt Cook doesn't recognise that it's back to 1.
And you can see, can't you, his teammate puts the finger up and says 1. That was back to 1. He knows it's just not been Castleford Tigers' night. Their execution has been poor. The composure has been virtually non-existent.
He's been good from the bench though, hasn't he, Matt Cook? One of the better players in a Cass jersey.
Move, hold the 10 now. Wait, Paul. Wait, mate. Wait.
Castleford still very much in the playoff picture, no matter what the result here. Hull St Helens still to come, of course, but Castleford would still be in that 5th position.
Hold, Liam. Wait, mate. Go, good.
And if St Helens win, they would take their place in the finals.
Release. 3. Go.
Tony Clubb, Powell, Luluai, Williams, Bevan French.
0.
Ball bounced in front of him and Castleford escaped with possession and Chase Flair has it.
Well, the transition then. An attack to a defence. The Warriors and the youngster Morgan Smithy's doing a decent job to catch Greg Minikin and dominate him and hold him up. Castleford to shift the ball, knowing that they're running out of time with just 8 minutes to go.
You know, before the game we talked about the attitude defensively of Castleford Tigers. Wigan give an easy penalty away. Oliver Gildart, who's been one of the top performers for Wigan this evening. The defensive efforts of Wigan, I know it doesn't always tell you the true story, but we make it just 9 tackles missed as a team through this match by Wigan, but their effort to turn up for one another, that will be a recipe. That'll be something on the tip sheet for Adrian Lamb's side as they go through these playoffs.
Jamie Ellis for Castleford. Truman. Line ball for Clarkson.
Look forward, didn't it?
2. Move. Here we are, Tony. Go. 2.
Tigers need something right now. There's the danger man, Truman.
Go.
Ellis.
3. Play on.
Kick. Hardaker has it. Hardaker with work to do though to get out to that in-goal area. They are going to get the repeat set.
Sorry, Jordan.
Well, Jake Truman running the ball. Jamie Ellis kicking the ball on the 3rd play.
Shot clock on.
Those 2 players could have been the difference in this game. But in all honesty, I think they have been quiet. Yeah, you could say that the forwards might have been beaten. They didn't have a platform to play off. They've certainly had the field position, though. And Daryl Powell knows that they've had chances. They've not took them.
Time you're up.
It's going to be a long 24 hours for Daryl Powell and the Castleford Tigers. This result, if it stays like this, will take their participation in the playoffs out of their hands. Hull up against St Helens tomorrow. Vital night coming up. The top and the bottom of the Betfred Super League. McMeekin.
Tony! Go, 2.
McShane. Ellis now.
Okay.
Truman, Clarkson, run around.
Wigan defend that very well. They don't commit. They just let their opponents pass the ball across the side of the field. Or there's an injury here.
Off tackle 3.
Maybe a bang on the head for Chase Blair here, but defensively they just waited, didn't they, for the opponents to get through all the players. Everyone ran the lines. They passed it out wide, and then when they had no space or real threat, just closed him down with a tackle. And he bangs his head there awkwardly.
Oliver Partington again. I was giggling before at some of the challenges, the exchanges he was having with Liam Watts on and off the ball, picking each other out. Little young buck just not giving way and not letting Liam Watts, one of the most experienced campaigners in the prop forward jersey, knock him round in Super League, and one of the standouts as well this year. Plays it hard, Partington. He goes in, he looks to hit, he hits him.
Well, he struck him on the head, hasn't he? That's the issue there. So I think it'll be a penalty at least here.
Chase Blair on his feet. It's playoff time in the Betfred Championship 2. And you can see the elimination final, Lee against Featherstone. Only one of those will progress in the race for the Super League in 2020. Sunday, 6:30 start, Sky Sports Arena. Chase Blair able to continue for Cass. He plays the ball. Now it's Clarkson. Come on to that ball. Matt Hook really strongly and took all of Greenwood's energy to bring him to ground in the nick of time.
It's a big tackle. I think it's Tony Clubb who comes out and puts pressure on Matt Cook, who's had a good game, as we've said a few times. A metre or two away from the try line. There it is. Joe Greenwood around the vicinity as well. I will say this for Oliver Partington. That is a dangerous game you play that. You're more or less threatening everybody, aren't you, and saying...
He'll come a cropper one of these days. You know, you do it to the wrong person, and they'll turn around and they'll think, right, well, do you know what? I'll take a couple of games to throw in a punch.
Well, the other thing is as well, that you can easily be sin bin for doing that. Even though his team will get the penalty, by rubbing somebody on the head, you can end up in the sin bin.
It's better to try and take it out of a player, I will say that, but again, you just make a big target for yourself.
Fair to say that Matt Cook has his voice back as well.
Oh,
what a shot there from Matt Cook. Look at the response.
He's got his shoulders with him as well.
There you go.
I said he's had a big impact since he's come off the bench.
Hardacre.
Dad! Move, play it! Go 3.
Isa. Skips away from a couple. Gives it to Williams. This now is Greenwood. Matautia, Ellis in defence for the Tigers. Here now is Oliver Gildart.
Come on.
Inside the last 5. The perfect end to the set from Sam Powell. The composure demonstrated yet again by Wigan.
Yeah, we'll just manage the game, take control. What about that shot though from Matt Cook? Now, he said earlier in the week that he was going to try and the club and the team were going to try and intimidate the young bucks. Look at that, he's certainly backed that up, hasn't he? Picked out Liam Byrne and absolutely walloped him with everything.
You know, there's an outside chance that Castleford will have to come back to this ground in the playoffs if they win and Wigan don't win in certain matches. They could meet again, and if they do, I think there's a big question mark over the Tigers' attack. Now, for almost the last 4 hours of trying on this ground, they've failed to score a try. We talk about Jake Truman, the danger man. They need danger men, not a danger man. They need more people offering themselves, because at the moment there's clearly been a difference in class. The ability of the Wigan side, fast through period, they've never really looked like scoring, have they, in almost 80 minutes. And that's the 3rd game in a row.
Trialist in April. Trialist last October in the playoff semi-final.
To be fair, Cass have got danger men, haven't they, in Paul McShane, Ellis, Truman, Rankin, Matautia and Liam Watts. Just not tonight, though.
This Wigan defence been sensational.
Come on, mate. Keep Keep working. Hold. Go on, one.
Liam Watts lost the ball. Can Wigan crown this victory with a late try?
2. Move, come on. Wait. Go 2.
Williams still going.
Good offload as well.
Manages to get the ball away, and Powell finds Luluwai. Luluwai trying to dance his way to the line. Those 2 tries in 3 minutes from Zach Hardacre. And Greenwood really took this game away from Castleford. Can Wigan crown it? They can! Morgan Smithies gets his first in Super League in 2019. The champions are looking at Old Trafford again. A top 2 finish for the 5th time in 6 seasons will be confirmed in just about 2.5 minutes. Won each of the last 7 games now. 9 in a row here.
Well, there's my young player of the year, Morgan Smithies, who's defended for his side. He's took tough carries for his side. He's done a lot of hard work. 40 tackles he's notched up during this 77, 78 minutes, but what he does is continually turn up, and you can see how much he means to that team at such a young age. What a player he is.
He's 18, he's living his dream. 2 years ago, he was playing for amateur club Siddle over in Halifax. Now he's playing on the big stage. Everyone's talking about this young but Morgan Smithies coming through the ranks. Like I say, been nominated for Super League Young Player of the Year. Yeah, what a talent.
Halifax born, youngest among those young player nominees, up against Truman in that category.
Well, the more forwards you've got
tonight,
the more forwards that you've got that can pass the ball, the greater chance I think you've got as a team. And it's that forward pass, a pass from a forward in Oliver Partington that set up that try. You know what, that combination of men in close range that are close to the middle of the field here, nice interplay, and a wonderful ending to a good, strong team performance.
Adrian Lamb will take so many positives from this, but to shut out Castleford again will be among the highest, you would think. It's been a sensational Wigan defensive display. Cook on Liam Byrne.
Move, back up. Come on, Paul. Come on, Liam. Go, good.
This is Burgess now.
Well, I thought before the game, Ben, how dare I think that Wigan would have a blip. Those 6 wins, those 8 consecutive home wins, I thought at some point there might be a lull in performance. Well, that came in probably the opening 15 or 20 minutes, but they found a way back into the game. And with some of those younger players, they have some rising stars. Partington, the latest try scorer, Morgan Smithies. Oliver Gildart has had some nice touches as well. But it's been a very good team performance. I think one of the players under the most amount of pressure, the fullback Zach Hardacre, everybody looking at him playing against his former team, expecting that rash nature that he sometimes shows to show its head, but he's been really composed.
Before this, Castleford had conceded just 4 tries in the last 4 games. They even restricted the free-scoring league leaders to just a Regan Grace effort. Fortnight ago. Kick as the hooter goes. Hardacre will pick it up, fitting that he might just mess this one up. Castleford could go over for a late consolation here. Chase player, don't think he's even going to bother to celebrate. Referee awards the try. Castleford do get a 4-pointer at the DW Stadium, but it's far too little and far too late. Hardacre annoyed with himself. Chase player gets his 2nd of the Super League season. Wigan have secured a top 2 finish for the 5th time in 6 seasons.
Well, right at the back end of the game, as the hooter is blowing, the Castleford Tigers get over the try line for the first time. Desperate offloads, wishful offloads. Liam Watts with a pass to Chris Clarkson, not known for his kicking game, and that awkward bouncing ball was too difficult for the fullback to answer. And they just can't stop the big man Chase player, who scored his first try last week, and he scored his 2nd try in 2 consecutive weeks.
Jamie Ellis with the last kick of the game. 2 more points. But consolation only for Castleford. They are beaten 26 points to 8. It will be a nervous 24 hours for the Tigers as they wait to see whether Hull can pinch 5th spot up against the league leader St Helens tomorrow night. 26 points to 8. Wigan win this one, and it was those back-to-back tries